All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to our Meet the Speaker moment. We have with me, I'll introduce, I am Ashley Baptiste, CEO of Conferences Connect. And we have a conference coming up. It is the Virtual Power Conference to Advance Women in Energy. And we are so excited that we have Meghan Nutting. She's the Executive Vice President of Policy and Communication at Sunnova Energy Company. And she's going to be presenting at the conference. So I want to welcome you, Meghan. Welcome.
Thank you.
And yeah, this is just a nice casual opportunity to get to know you a little bit better. And we were really delighted that you're joining us today. So
I'm excited.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about what you do as the Executive Vice President of Policy and Communication.
So I work for a residential solar and storage services provider, which means that we basically put solar and storage on people's homes all across the country, as well as in Puerto Rico, Guam, and Saipan. So extra credit if you know where Saipan is. So we work with all local partners that help us out. They do the sales and installation side of things. So we like to support local entrepreneurs, local businesses who know their markets and their neighborhoods and their states. And so that means that what I do is fight for solar policies that allow us and our customers to continue doing what we do and putting solar on our roofs. Residential solar is a fairly new thing. I mean, it's been around really since the 70s, but it sort of took off in I'd say 2010. And there's a lot of policies out there that never really anticipated people generating power at their own homes. And so a lot of those policies have to be updated or changed. We need to implement rules that never considered what it is that we're doing, people putting solar on their roofs. And so a lot of what I do is engaging in those conversations and those discussions at legislatures and at state public utility commissions to make sure that customers can self-generate.
That's fantastic. You know, it's always the policy side that happens later, right? When you're in something that's such a market mover, a mover and shaker. So yeah, I'm sure you deal with some really interesting situations in your role. Cool. Well, tell us a little bit about your family and your hometown and where you live.
Sure. So I live in Denver, Colorado. I live with my partner. I went to high school here in Colorado, but grew up in Maine originally. So I'm from Maine. I like skiing and hiking, and that's all really easy here in Denver. Sunnova itself is based in Houston, Texas. And so it's sort of interesting to have a solar company that was founded and is currently based in the oil and gas capital of the country. But we firmly believe that Houston is the energy capital of the country, and so are continuing to push that forward regardless of the energy source. And so I spend a lot of my time in Houston as well.
I bet. Now, is that still the case even with COVID?
No.
Okay. I was curious.
I miss Houston. I haven't been there since March.
Okay.
We're not traveling right now, but as soon as I can, I'll be headed back there.
Awesome. That's cool. So what do you do when you're not working?
I do a lot of things. I have a dog who insists on long walks whenever I'm available to give them to him. So I walk the dog a lot around Denver and hike, snowshoe, and try to keep. He's 13 years old and is not slowing down. So I spend a lot of my time walking my dog. Skiing in the winter, I do a lot of that, and then in the summer it's a lot of hiking and camping. I guess that's what I've done this past year because I've tried to be outdoors and away from people. In the regular world, I also really like visiting friends, traveling, doing yoga, but none of those things have happened lately.
I completely understand. It's been quite a time, hasn't it?
Yep, it's been weird.
What big changes do you see for your company and or this industry in the next 12 months?
The next 12 months. Well, I've always said it's an exciting time to be in in clean energy and especially distributed energy. More and more people are starting to think about how they make sure that their homes are backed up in the case of an emergency, especially now that we've all spent so much time at home and we really know what it feels like to lose internet or lose power for just a few minutes. So, you know, we've had people in California who are dealing with the power shutoffs because of the wildfires. We've had people in Puerto Rico who are realizing that hurricanes are going to come through, or just that generally power is unreliable. So I see in the next 12 months more and more people demanding access basically to their own energy generation, wanting solar panels on their roofs, wanting batteries at their homes to make sure that the power doesn't go out. So I see a lot more of that over the next 12 months. And that sort of then changes the way the energy system is structured. When you have consumers demanding something like self-generation, it kind of changes how energy is provided to people overall. And so I'm expecting to see more and more of that over the next 12 months. And then obviously ushering in a new presidential administration who's very supportive of renewables and of solar. I'm excited to see what ends up happening on that front, and how they reach carbon reduction goals and renewable energy goals, both at the federal and the state level, and seeing how states do that, how the federal government does that. And then finally, I think over the next 12 months, we'll see more and more of a focus on low and moderate income families accessing solar and having access to renewable energy. And I think that's something the Biden administration will also focus on. So we're looking forward to participating in, you know, what those programs look like and helping shape those.
Awesome.
So it's going to be a different year.
It sure will. It'll look a lot different. At least I would expect that. Yeah. All right. Shifting gears a little bit here. Who are a couple of your role models and why?
My role models. Let's see. Well, right now this interview is being taped on January 5th. So I'd have to say Stacey Abrams is definitely one of my role models. Especially she's in the news a lot right now and in the news a lot today. I had the opportunity to meet her a little while back when I was running for office, and was so impressed with her speech, with her, you know, approach, with her background. So I'd say she's definitely up there. We also, there are two women on Sunnova's board, Anne Andrew and Nora Brownell, who are both incredible people. Their careers in energy and equity and the environmental movement are, overwhelmingly impressive. So I'd say those two as well are two people I'm fortunate enough to work with them these days and also look up to them.
That's great. Terrific. Yeah. What's your biggest goal for 2021?
My biggest goal, let's see. I'd say it is to add hundreds of thousands of more people to the ranks of people who have solar on their roofs, who have access to energy without interruption, who install more batteries, making sure that they're fairly compensated for excess generation, and don't have barriers and put in their way if this is a path that they choose, that they want to self-generate at home and if they want to create clean electricity. So I'd say, that's generally my goal, my overarching goal anyway. But it's to continue that through 2021 and keep working with other advocates who are passionate about this and who are fighting for this as well.
Awesome. What do you wish people understood that would make your role easier in your company?
People outside the company or inside the company?
Either.
Both. I guess I'm always hoping that people understand the importance of the government affairs side of all work and of any company. When you read filings for companies that have gone public, for example, one of the risk factors is usually legislative, regulatory risks. And so it's like that for every company, not just in the solar world. So it's really important to be engaged. at legislatures, at public utility commissions, with governors and with mayors and talking to people. They don't know that there's an issue unless you bring it to their attention. And that's part of what an advocate or a lobbyist does. And I know definitely some lobbyists get a bad rap, and that's probably fair, but there's a lot of people out there who are advocating for issues that are really, really critical that people might not know about otherwise. So I guess if there's one thing I wanted everyone to know and understand, it's how important the government affairs side is to advocating for a company's interest, for the barriers that they face on a daily basis, on a yearly basis, making sure that that the interests of the customers that company serves are taken into account.
Totally get that. Very cool. Thank you. Okay, last two questions. What are you grateful for right now?
Right now, I'm grateful that I am healthy and that everyone in my family is healthy. I have a 5-year-old niece who I'm very close to and I see regularly, and I've helped raise her whole life. I'm grateful that she is learning to read. It's an amazing process watching a child go from not understanding words to all of a sudden reading them. So really, I'm grateful that she's at that point in her life, and it's really fun to be a part of that. And to be honest, I'm really grateful that the ski resorts are open. Right now, they shut down last March, and this year they found a way to open and be safe and keep everyone safe. And so I'm really grateful that I have that sort of release on the weekends that I can get out there and go skiing and feel safe about it. So I guess that's 3 things I'm grateful for.
That's terrific. I love that. I think we're all grateful when our ski resorts open up. And if anybody who has not tried skiing, it's an addictive activity. It's just a lot of fun. It's a total rush. So cool. All right, last question. What are you most excited about right now?
Right now, I'm most excited about, I guess, the potential for solar and storage in this country. I mean, it's incredibly popular where, we're such a small penetration right now, but growing, logarithmically. And it's really exciting to see this sort of energy transition underway and to be right in the middle of it, to be sort of at the crux of it as we all start thinking about where we get our energy. And this goes for electric vehicles too, as people start using more EVs and powering those with solar from their roofs, as people start using more clean energy themselves, and as utilities start doing that. I think we're right in the middle of something huge, and it's exciting to watch it and be right in the middle of it and be a part of it.
Very cool. Yes. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us today.
Sure.
We are really excited to see you at the conference, and
yeah, I'm excited to see everybody at this conference.
It's going to be cool.
It's such a great lineup.
What's that?
It's such a great lineup.
Yeah, we're thrilled, and we're just so thrilled that you're going to be there to share your story and your experiences with us. Yeah, I've got you down for Tuesday, February 2nd at 3:00 Eastern time. And just so folks know, the conference begins with the first session on Tuesday, January 19th. So we're looking forward to seeing you. And yeah, it's just a few weeks away.
Yeah, it's right before my birthday.
Oh, awesome.
My birthday.
We'll bring a cake.
Thank you.
Thank you again, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Take care.
All right. Thanks, Ashley.
Thank you.